John and Rachel Romance Love Story, Episode 10. Rachel was head over heels for this maxi dress. Her eyes sparkled with pure joy as she headed straight to the fitting room. As she stepped out wearing it, John's eyes locked on her. For a moment, it felt like the world had stopped turning. Auntie and Nayla immediately praised her choice, and Wasim, for the first time, gave Rachel such a genuine, heartfelt compliment that she beamed with joy. She went back to change and got the dress packed. Meanwhile, John felt like his soul was being torn apart seeing her so excited about someone else. A whole week had passed. John begged, pleaded, and poured out his heart more times than he could count. He had confessed his love openly, apologized profusely for this one stupid mistake, and apologized again and again. But no one would listen. It was as if the whole world had turned against him. That night, he lay on his bed, replaying every moment of the day in his head. His mind drifted to tomorrow, Rachel's marriage. The thought of him becoming someone else forever was slowly killing him inside. Then the memory of today hit him again. How she had been laughing and chatting with Asfar, completely ignoring him. The way his uncle and aunt were treating Asfar with such warmth and respect ignited a fire of jealousy in his chest like never before. Asfar had arrived that very day with his family. The marriage was to be tomorrow. John kept wondering how Rachel would become someone else tomorrow. The pain was unbearable. His patience had run out. Finally, he broke down. Tears streamed down his face as heavy sobs escaped him. He decided to make one last effort, not in front of anyone, but in front of his Lord. He stood up, performed ablution, spread out his prayer mat, and prayed 2 rakas of nafil prayer for his desperate need. It was almost 2 a.m. Raising his hands, bowing his head, and fixing his eyes on his empty palms, he began to pour out his heart to Allah. Tears streamed down his cheeks, uncontrollably as he begged, for the love he feared he would lose. Deep down, something in his soul still believed that Rachel was meant for him, that no one could take her away. The next morning, the house was buzzing with activity. Hazem woke up late. It was 11 a.m. The guests had arrived, and the whole place was abuzz with wedding preparations. Wasim and Asfar were sitting at the breakfast table enjoying bread and jam. John quietly joined them. "Looks like someone is being treated royally," John said sarcastically, unable to contain himself. "Oh, not yet, brother," Wasim replied, winking at Asfar. "Haven't even had a chance to serve my sister-in-law properly." They both burst into loud laughter that felt like a knife turning in John's heart. John clenched his jaw and tried to swallow his anger and pain, forcing himself to focus on his food. He was taking the last bite of his bread when Rachel entered, carrying a large bag that clearly contained his bride's maxi, heels, and jewelry. She politely greeted everyone at the table, then turned to Asfar with a soft smile. "I'm ready. Let's go. You said you'd drop me off at the beauty parlor," she said affectionately. John's face was writhing in barely concealed pain. Wasim had to bite his lip to keep from laughing at how obvious it was. "What kind of nonsense is this?" John said. "The groom is going to leave her himself. Doesn't the groom need to get ready too?" "John, sir?" Rachel replied quickly. "It's the bride's choice who she goes with. Who are you to give free advice? And what preparation does the groom need anyway? Just wash his face and change his clothes." John looked at her, his eyes burning with frustration and hurt. He was also angry at Rachel. For days she had ignored every word he said, refused to listen, and stood by her stubborn decision. For a split second, a dark thought crossed his mind: to take her away and marry her. But his upbringing and character stopped him. He could never cross that line. So instead, he was left trying to convince his heart to accept what fate had written. He locked himself in his room, pacing back and forth like a caged animal. One moment he was trying to calm himself down with anger at Rachel's stubbornness. The next, a sense of complete helplessness would hit him, and tears would escape without warning. He was just moving forward when there was a knock on the door. He quickly rubbed his eyes, wiped away his tears, took a deep breath to compose himself, and opened the door. Wasim was standing there with a sharp 2-piece suit. "Here, get ready," he said, handing it to her. John looked at the suit in confusion. His eyes were still red and swollen. "But I didn't order this." "It's not mine," he said. "I know you didn't." Wasim replied with a slight smile. "Rachel has ordered for you." John was even more shocked. Why would Rachel order something for me? She said that since you helped her get her dress, she wanted to return the favor. So now it's time for reckoning. Farhan repeated what Rachel had told him. "Dear viewers, will John find out what's going on with him? Do tell in the comments, like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.